So it doesn't just say, hey, give some information to you. Hey, you have some too. It's not random. It's calculated.
Thank you so much. I was wondering if I was answering my own questions. Master, I would really like to know from you what is wisdom and the best way to acquire it. If there's a point where you can say, now I've acquired wisdom, and how to use it best in service.
How to use it best for?
In service to others. Because I've heard that wisdom can't be, or I've read that wisdom can't be taught. So, or is that not the wisdom that we're actually looking for?
So this is words and understanding of words. So if your question is what does wisdom mean, you actually better ask Google than me actually. So maybe what is the core of the question? What's the reasoning behind the question?
I actually wanted, in my ultimate manifestation, to be wise, to have the right answer.
To be wise, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. What does that mean to you? This is a better question. What does it mean to be wise?
It's not knowledge. It is, I think for me, myself, okay, this is answering myself now, but to reach a point where you can be able to really guide other people. So where you can actually have the knowledge, I suppose the spiritual knowledge, the where you are connected with the universe in such a way that you can guide others.
So this is very good questioning now. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Because it started with wisdom, went to wise, brushed on knowledge. To me, it's sounding more like intuitiveness and intuition, or downloads, or channel, or connection.
Yes, but yeah. So my question was to hear from you what you would describe as where you come to the point where you are enlightened, but if we have that enlightenment, that can't really be taught. What you know there can't be taught directly to people.
Yeah. So now we've added one extra thing to the flavor, which is the word enlightenment. You see, so this is what I'm saying. If you search all these words on Google, they'll all mean something totally different. But we've just asked about everything here. What I'm feeling from you, and tell me if I'm correct in saying this, what I'm feeling from you is saying, how do I become in such a way where I do not need to read a book for that knowledge? I become in such a way where I just receive this information and I can use this information to help people, and it's not something that I read from a book, nor is it something that must be from a personal experience. Is this what you're saying?
Yes, but I feel in a way I've come a far way, but I don't feel I've reached that point yet. So I'm actually don't know what to do next.
Yeah. So you need to, first of all, you need to really know what exactly is that goal. If you're saying, how do I, like you said before, I want to better people's lives. Actually, you can do that now. You are more than qualified in doing that now. In fact, majority of people on these calls are. Why? Well, number one, you guys understanding law of attraction or manifestation is already a level of consciousness that most people don't have, that they get to create their own life based on their thoughts. So based on that, and whether I tell you to or don't tell you to, I'm sure majority of people here live in person and people at home have already coached people.
Yes.
I'm not saying charging for your coaching and setting up a website. I'm saying that since learning the stuff that you know now, you have used it to go and guide people and help people, whether they ask for it or didn't. So I don't if that is your goal, then you can already do that. If you are talking about now, then you talk about enlightenment. Again, these are words. That's why we cannot just say, okay, what is this? What is that? Okay, I give you an answer. If I give you the answer, it might not be what you mean about that. Again, if you search Google, you're going to find a million answers to what enlightenment even means.
Yes.
So how I personally see it, and this is just my perspective only of what I've learned and witnessed and seen and practiced, is that there are multiple points of enlightenment. There are multiple levels of enlightenment. How I see it is, okay, like this. First of all, and those who want to take notes, you can take some notes on this. A person who, the more enlightened you are, the more wow existence is. That's number one. Traits. The more wow. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Right? So beautiful, so powerful. Okay. The second thing is, the more enlightened you become, the more you start seeing where all the problems were and are, and where all the solutions and shortcuts are. And the third thing is, the more enlightened you are, the more detached you are to human emotions and human needs. To a point where you can say all the way to one understanding of enlightenment, or what people refer to as samadhi, for example, transcendence. It is time to exit. You've completed. Well done. No attachment to any human, physical, material, emotions, human things. But I don't believe that that is something that is a goal for majority of people who's listening to that. I don't think that your goal of the enlightenment is on the highest level of enlightenment to leave the physical body and transcend and become light again. Because I personally believe that there are a lot of you, number one, you don't really want that. Right. Number two is that you still have a lot to do. You have been placed here as a physical being with this limited time to accomplish something. And now is not the time to go. Because at the end of it, you're going to go anyway. So how I can explain it is in the sense of a extremely tall building, skyscraper. So what does this mean? If you're on ground level observing the skyscraper, you'll be able to see the skyscraper and say it's beautiful, and you'll be able to try to imagine what it feels like on top of the skyscraper. But it will never feel like when you're on top of the skyscraper. This is most people. I have an idea of what enlightenment is. I have an idea of what consciousness is. And I think it will feel like this. But it won't be true until you actually feel it. What will happen is your journey of awakening is saying, how do I get into the elevator? And how do I first, when you get onto the 5th floor, when you first arrive at the 5th floor and you look over the window, what you're going to feel? Number one, you're going to be like, wow, it's beautiful up here. You never knew before. You never knew. You would have never guessed how beautiful from down there. Never guessed. Now you're like, wow, how beautiful. Number two, now you can observe. Wow, why is that part like that? Why is that problem? Why is this like that? Wow, I used to go to work around there. I can't believe there was a bridge there. I could have just took the shortcut. You start seeing the problems and the solutions. There's a bird's eye view. right? So then what will happen is one day, through your journey, you may get your next level of enlightenment. You arrive on the 25th floor. Let me tell you something. Your 5th floor enlightenment, my God, that was overrated. You're saying I even took a photo on the 5th floor? What's the point in that? You delete that photo. I don't even want that photo. I'm not going to show my friends. That's not even, what's up with that? Now you'll see the 15th floor view. You take this photo, you, wow. How beautiful, how amazing. The vastness, the infinite existence. How far? You see much further now. You see everything. And when you move up the elevator, what happens is you also have more options. Why? You see more. If you see more, you have more choices. People think they have choices, but you only have choices based on what you know. When you go in the pathway of enlightenment, now you're like, wow, this playground is huge. I can do whatever I want to do. Feels even better. And not only that, you start to see all the other bridges and connecting the dots, and oh my God. You're saying, I went from there to here using that route when I could have just went this route. Now you know what? Anybody coming through this path, you know what? I can guide them. Hey, by the way, don't do that thing. That was my last 20 years. I can't believe it, when I was not enlightened. But I'll tell you now how to walk it. There's actually a path. You go this way and there, and then you arrive. You see the problems, you see the shortcut. And now you have more choices. At every level, it will go. Now you're saying, so how many levels? How many levels? Okay. So first of all, we need to acknowledge this. There are levels as a human being. There are levels as a spiritual being. There is only so much that a human in human capacity can achieve and need to know that will affect anything to do with your human reality. Like, for example, you knowing about aliens or another dimension is really not going to benefit your life right now. You're not going to find a better loving partner. You're not going to become, really, you're not going to create passive income from it. It's not, it's not. So as a human being, there are certain points where you go to. And what are those points? Well, it goes from what we always share is the first stage of life of learning it, the second stage of life of living it, and the third stage of life of giving it. This is always our cycle. We learn something, we practice it. After we practice it and we live it, we get some results. We want to pass it on. Let's teach some other people to do it. We contribute, give it. And so what will happen is giving it is the final human stage. In human enlightenment, it's the final stage. How do we know that? 6 basic human needs. Every inaction or every action is based on these 6 needs. Anytime you're happy or unhappy is based on these 6 needs. Anytime you want to leave a relationship, get into a relationship, because of these needs. Anytime you've ever left a job before or joined a new job before, it's because it satisfies or dissatisfies these 6 needs. The need for certainty, need for variety, need for growth, need for love and connection, need for significance, and need for contribution. When a human has a sense of certainty in life, they also want a bit of variety. Humans are weird like that. If you think about it, has anybody ever left a job before here? Ever left a job? Has anybody ever left a relationship before here? I'll tell you what, those 6 needs, one of those needs were not met. That's why you wanted to leave. Think about it. You either lack certainty in that relationship or in that job. You either lacked variety, it was too boring for you. You left the job. You either lacked the sense of growth. That's why you left. You either lacked the sense of significance, nobody recognized your achievements, so nobody recognized you for who you are and what you did. You either lacked love and connection, you felt like it was really cold and people didn't really connect with you, or they didn't love and care for you. Or you lacked the sense of contribution. You didn't feel like you were contributing to anything beyond yourself. It was meaningless, not purposeful. How many of you can relate to you leaving a certain situation or circumstance or person or job or anything because one or more of those needs were not met? Just raise your hands. Okay, pretty much everybody. There are no more needs, there's only 6 needs. Usually when the first 5 needs are met, what do? People start seeking for the final need. So I'm certain I've got plenty of income coming in, not a problem. Variety, I get to do different things in my job, not a problem. Growth, yeah, I'm growing every year, it's getting better and better, more abundant, great. I feel significant, everybody always praises me on how amazing I am, right? Oh, feel that love and connection, everybody's full of love and it's so nice. If I have all of that in my career, there's only one thing that I will be a little bit, I don't know what it is, something is missing. Guaranteed, it's going to be contribution. I don't feel like I'm doing something that's beyond myself. I feel like I'm doing everything just for me, which becomes meaningless. Contribution is the final human need. That's why learn it, live it, give it. But the interesting thing is, contribution is not enlightenment. Because contribution is a human need. It is the need of the person contributing, not the need of the person receiving. How many of you, be honest here, have tried to help somebody who didn't want to be helped before? And you got frustrated in trying to help that person. That's funny, right? You went in with positivity, they came in with negativity, you wanted to make them positive, they made you negative. 1 point to them, 0 point to you. Why do we say that is the final need as a human being, right? You unconsciously are doing it for you. You like to be proud and say, I'm doing it for them. No, it's for them. No, you're doing it for you. There's no such thing for humans. There's no such thing as an action without a reaction. You're doing it for you. You want at least a thank you. You want at least a smile. You want at least a bit of a recognition. What is beyond that? What is enlightenment beyond human then? Is no need. Back to the thing that Shelley was sharing before. But I feel, I need to be more compassionate. I need to help them. I'm saying in this situation, I don't feel like I need to help them. Why I need to help them? Who said I need to help them? Who set the rule? Where's the rule book? Tell me. Who said I must help them? Who said that allowing nature to run its natural course will not be perfection? Who said that? Who told you? More enlightenment now. Do you know what? If you are no need, no 6 needs, no, don't need any of them. As a human being, you can never be unhappy. You can never be disappointed. Do you know that? Think about it. If you had no need for certainty, no need for variety, no need for love and connection, no need for significance, no need for contribution, how could you ever be unhappy? Everything is extremely peaceful. Everything becomes peaceful. So at that point there is, okay, that is beyond human now. You're saying there's no human need. So wow, this is astonishing. Like you be the observer. By the way, who is the observer you know? when you become the witnesser now, and not the person who's being played in the game, you're totally detached from the game. You are the witnesser. What are you? You're returning. You're becoming one with Creator. You're becoming one with Universe. You're enlightened. Enlightened being. You're not affected by anything. And at a moment when you start feeling that you are feeling that way, things happen around you, not affected, no emotions. Things going wrong, no emotions. I'm witnessing. I'm just witnessing. And I just know collectively, everything will be exactly the way it's supposed to be, with or without me. This is a big step of enlightenment. With these words, you can solve everyone's problem. There's no more problems. No more needs, no more problems. And when you start being able to actually live that, you will find without any needs, without any upset, without any distractions, without any chaos, without any challenge. There's no challenge now. Without any challenges, your whole mind surrenders and is open. The gateway is open. Your third eye is open, whatever you want to refer to. And you will realize in that moment, everything you receive, because Universe will recognize you're ready, this vessel is ready. You will receive all that knowledge, that divine knowledge and guidance and wisdom. Because the Universe knows you can handle it without being affected. When I, in 2019, did the initiation up in the mountains with Grandmaster Akshar, and throughout the journey, doing all this dimension things and weird and wonderful experiences, and this traveling and practice outside, it was the final stretch where it was very strange. It was literally the final last 3 days. Everything was revealed. And when everything was revealed, it was very interesting. So everything was revealed. It's like, okay, global crisis. Okay, natural disaster. Okay, economy crisis. Oh, okay, all this. Before anything happened. And when it came to the event in San Diego, but I knew at that time, hey, I was not fazed by it. So back then in San Diego, when we had the event, I would tell people, I say, hey, by the way, natural disasters will happen soon. The bit of chaos will happen. This is in spirituality we call dark age. This will happen, that will happen. Then it'll lead to economic crisis and everything. Some of you know Lucy, Life by Lucy. She's the one who went up. She heard me through this weird, wonderful time saying this to her. I said, I seen it. It's happening. And even at that point, I did not fully appreciate or recognize, why am I receiving this information? But today I realize why I could receive that information. It's because I was not affected by it. Let me ask you a question. If you knew there's a pandemic around the corner, 2 months later, okay? And you had your family and friends, okay? They don't know about it, only you know.
No.
You tell them or not? You tell them or not? It's happening in 3 months' time, pandemic. You have your loved ones, family and friends. Are you going to tell them or not? Yes?
I would tell them.
Get prepared. Well, number one, they will think you gone cuckoo. Number two, those who don't think you gone cuckoo will believe you, and those who believe you will
panic.
You tell me, people who believe you that, hey, by the way, in 3 months' time, loads of people are going to die across the world. There's this virus thing and it could kill a lot of people and things like that. And for the people who don't believe you, that's even better. You're cuckoo. For the people who do believe you, now you tell me, how now you take responsibility? You say, hey, I told you the truth. You think you're taking responsibility. All you need to do is just, you don't need to imagine. Look at what happened the last few years. How many people went into depression and mental health problems and all this because... So what does that mean? A weak spirit will never access such knowledge, or words, wisdom, intelligence, because universe has to manage the cause and effect of everything that is downloaded and what information is put out there. So it doesn't just say, hey, give some information to you, hey, you have some too. It's not random, it's calculated. It's calculated. Will there be somebody who receives a download? Imagine, we have people like this in this world. They access something. Some people take some medicines and some drugs and things like that. They access, oh my God, I seen this. Oh my God, world's going to turn this way and all this. Are there people who can't handle it and even suicide? These things happen in this world. This is all universal responsibility. So what I'm saying is this path will be certainty, variety, love and connection, significance, growth, contribution, surrender, 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 no need. Strength, witnesser. Witness everything. Somebody tells you, hey, somebody died yesterday. Okay, I need to continue to do what I need to do today. You cold-hearted. No, it's not that. It's, this is life. Life is birth and death and birth and death, and life is life. You call it cruel or not cruel? You see, how many of you ever watched a bird fly across the sky and you're like, oh my God, how beautiful is it flying across the sky? How many of you seen that before? Nature's so beautiful. Wow, a bird is flying across the sky. So beautiful. Wow, you're in awe. Do you know why? Because you can't see episode 2. What I'm saying is, episode 1, they are flying across the sky. You don't see the 2 minutes later why they're flying through the sky. Because they're just about to fly, and then they're going to cross over the ocean. They're going to see this fish, and they're going to bite its head off, and it's going to chew it off, rip it off, chew it to pieces, and digest it. If you watch up episode 2, you wouldn't be like, oh, nature's so beautiful. Because you only seen the first part of it, perspective. Now, what I'm saying is, can you witness everything? You can witness episode 1, witness episode 2, not affected. That is the strength of your spirit. If you can handle all things like that, you will handle life so easily. No challenge will faze you. Hey, I'm going for an investment opportunity. Go for it. No fear. But what happens if you lose it all? Then I lose it all. What? Really? Yeah. Then what would you do? Probably try to make something back. It's inevitable. No, this is normal. Why you need to ask such a stupid question, right? Probably try and make it back. And what if you lose it again? They'll probably try to make it again because I need to eat, right? It's normal. There's no question about it. But your average human, we'll see about that. We'll observe over the next 3 days. Yeah. So that's how I see it. I hope, I know that's a very long answer, but I hope that gives you something to work off. Huh?
That was a perfect answer. Thank you, Master. And it gave me, it actually, gave me clarity on my micro manifestation or my manifestation here, or quite a big one, but because you also said before that even though you won't feel the need to contribute, you still do later. We still do, even if you advance in your path of enlightenment, you do.
Contributing is not a problem.
Yes.
The need for contribution can lead to disappointment. Contribution is not a problem. I can give all I want today. I can go and feed some people who need feeding. I could go and pay for some operation for some people who, this is what we do out in Kenya. So we're doing that. That is not the problem. If I go and feed and I observe them die and I get really, really angry and upset about myself and all this regret, and that becomes my problem.
For me, was always,
I can take the action, but there's no, it doesn't matter about the outcome. Actually, I would just do my best. It's not a need.
For me, my question was like, because I have a lot of talents in dancing and painting and everything, and I feel like I have this, I must do something with it. I must do something, but how do I contribute to others with it selflessly? But when you said like, if you advance, you see the wow of existence. And this morning I just want to show others the wow of existence. And I think through art and those things, you can do it. Because my question was, can you show somebody or teach them wisdom? You can't really teach them wisdom.
You can lead by example.
Yes.
I believe that is the best you can do. You can lead by example. But then the rest is down to them, because individuals are also in charge of their own manifestations too. So you do your best, lead by example. You see, I understand where that question is coming from, because I have family members that way too. That is not really understanding. I have family members that really don't understand me. They don't understand what we do. They don't understand life very well. They don't understand what they're doing. They're frustrated about life. They're frustrated about their job. They're frustrated about not being able to do. And they would ask for money. They would ask me for money. And now you all need to also come to the consciousness and saying, you've written your manifestation. You're going to have abundance of health and wealth and everything. Now, given you have $1 billion. Now your loved one, your family member comes to you and asks for $10,000. Do you give it to them? Okay. Then 5 months later, they run out and they ask you again. Do you give it to them? Yes. Okay. 6 months later, they spent it again. Now they need another $10,000. Do you give it to them? Oh, where did your yes go? No more yes. You keep giving. Okay, so now comes the question of, okay, the giving, the responsibility. So your karma, your responsibility. So then needs to come next level of awareness to figure out, am I helping? Actually, the answer is very simple. You look at track history, you'll see whether you're helping or not. And if at that time, you are still giving, this is what we're talking about, human need. With human need, we'll then always have disappointment and all problems. Now, this will be putting problem on yourself. Taking somebody problem and taking it on yourself. And wanting to help more people while problem is here.